All right, let's get right into it. Every single Agile team out there is feeling the heat to integrate AI, and to do it like yesterday. But here's the thing. Using AI isn't just one single goal you check off a list. It's this incredibly complex journey, and it's filled with hidden traps. The real question isn't if you should start, but how, and more importantly, where you should start.
So, picture this. You've got two teams at the same company. Team Alpha is popping the champagne. They just cut their sprint planning time by 20% using a new AI tool. That's a huge win, right? But then, just down the hall, you have Team Beta. They've rolled out an entire AI ecosystem. We're talking autonomous agents, predictive analytics, the whole shebang.
And here's where it gets interesting. Both teams are technically right. They both succeeded, but they're obviously playing in completely different leagues when it comes to AI maturity. This is the core challenge we're unpacking today. Success isn't some finish line. It's just a single point on a long, winding map. The question isn't, did we succeed? It's, where are we on this map, and what's the smartest next step for us?
So to help you figure all this out, here's our game plan. First, we're going to talk about the AI Agile journey itself. Then we'll dive deep into this awesome framework called crawl, walk, run, fly. After that, we'll look at the 5 key areas you need to measure your progress in, talk about the common mistakes that trip everyone up, and finally, we'll give you a practical guide to chart your own path forward.
Okay, let's get into it. The first step on this journey. A ton of organizations think the goal is just to use AI, but like we just saw with our two teams, the real starting point is diagnosis. You have to be brutally honest about where you are right now. Because if you don't have that baseline, your next steps are just going to be guesswork, not strategy.
And to help with that diagnosis, there's this really powerful model called the crawl, walk, run, fly continuum. Think of it as a roadmap. It helps you understand your progress through 4 very, very distinct stages of adopting and integrating AI.
And here is that path. It all starts with crawl. This is the phase of pure, messy, but necessary experimentation. From there, you learn to walk by taking what actually works and standardizing it. Then you get to the run stage, which is all about scaling those proven successes across the entire organization. And finally, fly. This is the ultimate goal, where AI becomes a true partner in some game-changing innovation.
So in the crawl stage, think of your teams as curious explorers. They're just dipping their toes in the water. They're trying out easy-to-grab tools like GitHub Copilot, they're running little informal pilot projects, and this is key. The main focus is just on learning the absolute basics of what AI can even do for them.
Now, what's so critical to understand about this crawl stage is how you define a win. It's not about ROI, not yet. At this point, you're fighting fear, uncertainty. So success isn't a dollar amount. It's seeing teams voluntarily messing around with new tools and feeling a real buzz, a genuine interest in AI education starting to bubble up. That's your progress right there.
Okay, once that curiosity really takes root, you're ready to start walking. In this stage, the whole point is to move past those random one-off experiments. The focus shifts to creating repeatable, standardized processes. Like using sentiment analysis to make every single retrospective more insightful, or setting up communities of practice so that all that great learning gets shared instead of stuck in a silo.
And the biggest hurdle here is overcoming resistance. In the walk stage, you're definitely going to see some pushback, and you'll see some teams using AI, while others don't. Success means you can actually point to documented improvements in team metrics. That's how you start building that all-important trust between your people and the new AI tools.
Now, once you're in the run stage, AI is not a novelty anymore. It's a core built-in part of how most of your development teams get stuff done. You've got a full governance framework in place, and the focus is laser-sharp on scaling best practices and using data to constantly get better.
The run stage introduces this really fascinating tension. On one hand, you're managing these complex, interconnected systems, and that requires strong standards. But on the other hand, you have to protect team autonomy so they can keep innovating. It's a real balancing act. You know you're getting it right when you see a strong, clear ROI from your AI investments, and your teams actually have the skills to build their own custom solutions.
And finally, we get to the fly stage. This is the bleeding edge. We're talking about organizations where AI systems and human teams are working together so seamlessly that they're achieving things neither could ever do on their own. Think autonomous agents, self-adapting systems. It's pretty wild.
And this isn't about making sprints a little more efficient anymore. This is about using AI to fundamentally rewire how the entire organization operates. You've got AI predicting and preventing team burnout.
dynamically optimizing the org chart, and even handling sprint planning with almost no human intervention.
Okay, so you've got the 4 stages, but how you actually figure out where you are on this journey? The truth is, it's not a single straight line. Your organization's growth is happening on multiple fronts, so you need a smarter way to look at it. To really get a handle on your maturity, you need to look at it across these 5 critical dimensions. You've got technical integration, which is your tools; process maturity, which is how AI is embedded in your workflows; human capital is all about your team's skills; ethical and responsible AI covers governance and fairness; and finally, business impact. Are you actually creating value? The key insight here is that you'll almost never advance at the same pace in all 5 areas. You might be flying on the tech side but still crawling on the ethics side, and knowing where those gaps are is everything.
So now that we've got our map and our compass with these 5 dimensions, let's talk about what can go wrong. Because honestly, knowing the common pitfalls is just as important as knowing the path forward. These are the mistakes that can totally derail your whole transformation.
Okay, a huge mistake, and we see this all the time, is trying to run before you can walk, or even crawl. Companies try to jump straight to the sexy, advanced stuff without building the foundational skills, and it just blows up in their face. Another one is the technology-first approach, focusing only on the cool new tools without investing in your people's ability to actually use them well. The fix is simple. Follow the progression and balance your tech investment with people and change management.
And beyond that, we see 2 other big ones: governance gaps and what I call measurement blindness. If you don't have proper governance, scaling AI is a recipe for massive ethical and legal risks. And if you don't have clear metrics, you're just flying blind. You can't prove value, you can't make smart decisions. These things can't be an afterthought. You have to build them right from day one.
All right, let's bring it all home and talk about how you can be proactive and start charting your own path forward. What are the concrete, actionable strategies you can use to level up your organization's maturity? It's pretty straightforward. To get from crawl to walk, your main job is to build a foundational understanding of AI and get some basic ethical rules in place. To get from walk to run, you've got to invest big in comprehensive training and set standards for the whole company. And to make that final leap from run to fly, you have to build a deep culture of experimentation and start sharing what you're learning with the rest of the industry.
So at the end of the day, if there's one single thing to take away from all this, it's this quote right here. This journey isn't a race to buy the fanciest AI tools. True maturity is about building the skills, the culture, and the wisdom in your organization to use AI in a way that is responsible, ethical, and actually helpful to the people doing the work. That is the real transformation.